Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike. We are on vacation this week, so we decided to hook you guys up with an episode from our old network that we used to be on, our highest rated episode, actually. So enjoy that, and we'll be back next week. So on behalf of Jules and John, see you in a few days. Peace. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the one and only Giants Podcast. I'm Mike Trainer. I'm with Jules and John this week again, like usual, guys. What's going on, man? How was your week?
What up? Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna just kind of jump in, because normally we're just sitting here talking about going to bars and watching movies and different shows and things like that. One crazy thing that happened was I didn't mention on last week's show. As of Wednesday, I officially became an uncle. My brother's fiance had a baby boy, 6 pounds, 11 ounces. I forget, 18 inches or something. I don't forget how long, but not bad. So yeah, Jules is officially Uncle Jules at this point.
Future linebacker, right, for the New York Giants.
There you go, right?
Uncle Jules.
Either that with his name, right? Dominic Marco Giuliano. He sounds like he plays fucking forward for fucking the Italian team or some shit, bro.
Yeah, right. Fucking soccer, man. That's crazy. What a name. Holy shit.
Yeah, for real, dude. I was joking about. I was like, oh man, that sounds a little Asian. He's like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm not even going down this road with you, man.
Oh, that's great.
That's,
what about you?
Well, congrats, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Jules.
Yeah,
what
so
about you,
nothing
John?
much is going to top that over the weekend. That was the big news on my front.
Definitely can't top that. I didn't do shit.
Yeah. I definitely do not have anything as big as becoming an uncle. I am an uncle of two. Godfather, actually, one of them.
I wish I could say I tried to make a baby this weekend, but that didn't happen either.
Oh, hang on.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, welcome to the Giants Brawl Podcast.
You need to have sex in order to have a baby, and I did not have that this weekend.
That usually happens. That's usually how it happens.
Speaking of that, listen, I got something.
Yeah.
I got something for sale for you guys or for the listeners, anybody that'd be interested. I have a sex doll that I'm trying to sell. Okay. Never used. I swear I'd never use it. During quarantine, listen, there's been a couple of close encounters. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. All right. It was very close. But I held back, nothing wrong with it. Like, if people are into sex dolls, I'm hoping there's somebody out there that's listening that's into one, because I really got to get this thing out of my house.
So wait, how do we know that you haven't used it? Like, is it still sealed in the box type of thing?
No, that's the thing. It's already out, and it's in my closet. It's in my closet.
Dude. It's like trying to sell a car and be like, yo, it only has 5 miles on it. I swear to God, I drove it off the lot, drove it right back on.
Bro, that is raunch. I hope you sell it, but
listen, I'm pretty much, I'll give it, for like a couple $100. It's worth over like a couple, it's worth like $1,200, $1,300 or whatever. I think something like that.
Why do you have a $1,300 sex
you can go over like a trip to Europe with that shit, man.
Yeah, you could go crazy. So basically, like last year when the quarantine happened, I was in like a poker group. A couple guys.
Oh my god!
I know, like Jules asked me to play online poker a couple of times for his group. Yep. So I was in this one. It was like $20 to $40 buy-in or something like that. No, yeah, it was $40 buy-in. And if you win like the first table, you go to the next table, you win a championship. And they have a bunch of prizes over $1,000. And I think the guy makes like $300-$400 on each.
Yeah, it depends how many people end up signing up, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically, so you get like a list of prizes you could pick. And I won, the first time I won, and I picked a nice 65-inch TV. Sony is fucking fantastic, right? Got it, and they ship it right to your house. It's fucking awesome. But the second time you win, if you win again, it's a mystery prize, right? And to make a long story short, one of the guys that's been involved in this, he works in China and New York, and he works for one of these companies. So as a joke, he sends these out for the rookies who win 2 games in not in a row, but in that, in that year or whatever the fuck it was, right? So all of a sudden, I see this fucking huge box outside my fucking garage, right? And it's fucking heavy as shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm dragging this thing up the fucking steps. lie it down on the floor. I'm like, this got to be fucking worth some kind of fucking money. My dog's with me. My dog's like, he has to know everything what's going on. I rip open the box. I'm fucking tearing this thing, open. And the bottom part is open. All of a sudden, a fucking leg pops out. My fucking dog freaks the fuck out. He's looking at the leg. He's looking at me. He's like, did you fucking kill somebody? So I'm like, is this what I fucking think it is? And this thing must have weighed 110 pounds, right? I'm trying to get this fucking thing out, and it's headless, right?
Oh
So
God.
I'm fucking rip this thing open. I stand this fucking thing up. My dog is just fucking losing his fucking mind. He's like trying to lick the feed, but he's looking at it. He sees no head. Then I find the head. Like I put the fucking head on. I have to send a picture to the guys, like, because they want a picture, for your prizes to send into the group. I guess that was the whole fucking joke. So it's like a picture of me in the sex doll. I had to send to these fucking assholes.
Oh.
So it was just like, I'm like, what do I do with this fucking thing? So I fucking shove it in the closet, and it comes with like a blanket, of course. So I throw the blanket over the fucking.
What are you guys gonna go for a picnic?
Like, yeah, no, they're gonna fucking paint their nails and shit. So I throw this fucking blanket over her head, and it's like fucking standing up in my closet. Like I'm scared to go to sleep at night. Sometimes I'm afraid she's gonna come alive and start fucking attacking me. Dude, it's wild, man. It's just like it's crazy. It's $1,200 fucking.
And the whole thing is fucking headless.
No, well, the head was in separate part of the box. So I ripped open the box, and she's a brunette, so people are into brunettes. So I put the fucking head on and shit. She's fucking looking at me and shit.
Is there an ethnicity involved?
She's either white or Asian. I forgot. I haven't looked at her since March of last year. Like I'm scared. I'm scared to go in the closet. You know what I mean? I told you there was a couple close encounters, and that was back in in the prime pandemic last March when I was stuck in my house for like a month and a half. So yeah. So if anybody wants a brand new sex doll, yes, it's open, but I swear it's never been used. Okay. I couldn't get.
You have it, right? Like Giants Brawl, we got everything, bro. From advice to sex dolls. That's just how we roll here, bro. At the Giants Brawl.
Hey, listen, if you're a freak, I'll hook you up, man. A great deal. Like we could get some Manscaped products, and you could use the Manscaped product on this thing. I'm sure there's a couple like perfumes.
Is there hair? It came with like hair on it too.
Yeah, hair. You could buy a Manscaped like trimmer and shit, trim her hair, fucking do her nails with some Manscaped products, put some perfume on it or put some cologne on it, like whatever you get. I mean, she's like, she's bare down there. She's like, it's no landing strip, no nothing, man. Totally clean shaven. So you don't even really need that down there. But I'm sure you can figure something out. Put a piece of rug or whatever, tape a piece of rug there and just fucking shave it or something. I don't know, whatever you guys are into.
Well, listen. Speaking of Manscaped, they're doing a thing for. Obviously, it's March, right? So it's March Madness. That should be going. Might not be like we were accustomed to in years past, but March Madness is definitely coming out. And listen, Manscaped's gonna get jumping on it, right? So this tournament season, take care of your hair and holes with the best tool for the job. We're talking about our sponsors, Manscaped, the global leader in male grooming from head to toe. When the clock winds down in March, be clutch and avoid the upset with the Manscaped Performance Package to keep all your hair and holes tamed. Start taking care of your man parts today with 20% off plus free shipping. Go to manscaped.com. Use the Brawl code for this exclusive offer. And when we say all the holes, we're talking about you get the stuff now hooked up where you get the little nose clipper. You get the one that we've been talking about, that little mower that takes care of everything from head to toe. You get the cologne. There's all different types of packages. 20% off manscaped.com. Use the Brawl code.
Buttholes. Use the code sex doll. You get a free sex doll with this order. Just get it out of my house, please.
Oh my God, that is not true. Cover us legally. You do not get a free sex doll unless Mike is giving it.
Yeah. Don't expect Manscaped to send you a free sex doll. Please.
If you get 100 people to download Giants Brawl and follow us, plus get 100 people to buy stuff from Manscaped, you will win that free doll. That's it. Done. We're done. Yep. That's it. Soon as we know you can track 100 people that subscribe to the Giants Brawl and order from Manscaped, you will get a free sex doll. So that's also part of it. You don't have to buy it.
We want receipts.
You gotta show us proof though. There's gotta be proof in the pudding.
Please. She'll haunt your dreams.
So I guess getting around to the NFL, the first thing we should probably bring up is Dak Prescott's contract, right? If you were living on on another planet, or maybe been hiding in the cage for a couple of days, the Cowboys reached in their pockets like they usually do and somehow pulled out this four-year, $160 million contract with $126 million guaranteed. He's set to make $75 million in the first year, which is outrageous with a $66 million signing bonus. I mean, bro, you want to go from talking about like not being like welcomed and honored and loved to fucking talking about getting paid also. And here's something that people aren't really talking about with this deal. He has a non-exclusive tag deal already put in where basically a no tag provision is what they call it, with the no trade clause. So basically, for the next 4 years, the Cowboys got to pay this motherfucker. And in year 5, if he wants to go play for a contending Super Bowl team, bye-bye Cowboys at Duke bounce. And they can't do shit about it.
Dude, I love that. Like, I even love how, like, all the signing bonus, like $60 million, dude, that's insane for a signing bonus. And now his first year, that's why his cap is kind of low, so that Dallas could go out and, like, sign a couple guys this year. But, I mean, that's just fantastic, man. For 4 years, you're going to be stuck with that asshole.
Serious.
Dallas.
And you know what? I like everybody questions this, and to me, I don't get it. But since when was an individual break their fucking ankle and have a compound fracture, because that's how serious Dax was, and all of a sudden the next year they come back and the ankle's fine, they're running around, they can throw the ball, they can plant, they can fucking throw the ball downfield. Like, I get it, it's not his arm, it's not his shoulder, it's not his knee, right? Because everybody thinks the knee is worse. But are you really going to sit there and tell me that you break that portion of your body and all of a sudden the following season you're going to come back 100%, you're going to be even better? Like, that's fucking insane, dude. And honestly, that's one of the big things that I've been talking about with Jalen Waddle, right? Like, that's my biggest concern in regards to him. Dude broke his ankle, tried to come back. He was running around on the field in January, like hobbling around and limping. I mean, it's clear that that's not just something you break and then in 2 weeks you're back to normal. Like, it was like changing a fucking tire on a car or something.
Bro, that deal. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Dak sucks. I'm not going to say that. But I do know one thing. Offensive lines in football, they can make a bad quarterback look good. They can make a great quarterback look bad, and everything in between. So when you have the best offensive line in football for the first 4 years of your career, when you have I don't want to give him the credit for it, but you have Zeke, who is a top 3 or was a top 3 running back in the league. That's going to take a lot of the pressure off of you, where you can kind of sit back and be the secondary figure on the offense. So that's, we'll get on the deal with Saquon, but that's a different story. Yeah. I think there's going to be a coming to Jesus moment for them in the next year and a half, 2 years, because their offensive line is aging, and that $40 million a year annual value, that is going to cripple them. They got a ton of monster contracts on that team, and they're going to be hamstrung. I'm telling you now, they're going to be hamstrung. And maybe they're okay this season, but after that, they're going to be joining fucking the Eagles in the basement, looking back up at us.
It's funny you mentioned that O-line. A couple of the main guys had gotten hurt, and then they brought in a bunch of these younger guys that, I don't know, you could kind of make an argument that maybe some of them will kind of gel together and they will move forward. They should definitely be looking O-linemen with that 10th pick in the draft. That's for certainty. And you know what? You never know. I don't doubt Dallas with that old offensive line. They always put it together. But you did see, and I don't give a shit. You could say, oh, it was because Dak wasn't there, Dak this. That old line got worse and worse as the season progressed for them. And yet you saw Zeke fucking suffer terribly with that shit. So if they don't correct that immediately, that's going to be an issue. And I don't give a fuck how much you pay Dak. He ain't going to be able to run around with an offensive line. That's shit.
That's a big issue for them.
It's one of the universal truth of football is you need to have a good offensive line. They were all drafted 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago at this point. They're all aged out at this point. They're not going to be as good as they once were. You're going to get new bodies in there, new coaching staff. No one talks about the fact that they have Mike McCarthy as the head coach now. Everybody was clowning him all season, and then all of a sudden the season ended and we forgot that Mike McCarthy is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, bro.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the Dak signing?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, dude, I loved it. I couldn't wait for them to sign him, man. I was like, yo, pay that man. Pay him. Just, clog up that salary cap, man. Dallas just loves overpaying these fucking guys, man.
Seriously.
Jerry Jones, like, that's what he does. Like, I don't know what took so long, to be honest. I don't know. They were trying to, like, lowball him or whatever, but I tell you, to pay that motherfucker that kind of money, and you're right, Jules, coming off that ankle, and part of his game is, like, scrambling, running around, and running for first downs as well. So I'm interested to see, like, if he comes back, like, 100%, we'll see what happens. But, either way, the Giants are just going to hurt him again next year anyway. So
I mean, it's amazing though, because look, I mean, granted, they don't really have any like big time money tied up on the defensive side of things. But if you look offensively, they signed Dak now to this big contract. They got Zeke signed to a big contract. They signed Amari Cooper to a big contract. How the fuck do they have all this money where they can keep signing these big time players? Like that shit drives me crazy, dude.
Signing bonuses, signing
Yeah, I guess
bonuses,
that's what it is.
and extending the length of the deal, like these guaranteed money, like where you could put, short money in the first couple of years, or backload it, front load it, whatever you got to do. Look at the Rams, dude. The Rams they got a squad. They pay everybody, So like for people that say like the Giants, like again, like they don't have the money, they don't have the salary cap. Like you just don't know. You like, of course they got the fucking money. If they want to pay somebody that's gonna fit the team, they're gonna pay them. And Leonard Williams, he's gonna get his fucking money too. So don't even fucking sweat it.
And listen, with the tag deadline coming in officially today, March 9th at 4 p.m., a couple of notable players got tagged, a couple of notable players didn't get tagged. But as for the Giants, and of course, as we all know, Leonard Williams got tagged. But what he got was, and I just want to be clear on this, because one thing that's not often talked about, there are actually 3 different types of tags that a franchise could put on a player, right? They could put an exclusive tag, a non-exclusive tag, and they can also put a transition tag. And the main difference between the 3, and by the way, Leonard Williams got the non-exclusive. The main difference between the 3 is once you put the exclusive tag on a player, they can no longer talk to anybody outside, but you can only use that on that player one time. So therefore, Leonard Williams doesn't qualify any longer with it. What they did was they put this non-exclusive, which is basically the same sort of payout as the exclusive tag would be, where it's the average top 5 players in their position, or 120 times higher than what 120% higher rather than what you paid them the previous season. And it has to be the greater of the 2, right? And in this case, Leonard Williams would fall under the 120% of what he paid last year, which kind of comes out to about $19.35 million per year if we leave it like that. But here's 2 things to that. The non-exclusive offer allows him to still talk to other teams. And what it does is it gives the Giants an opportunity that if they come with a long-term deal, it gives the Giants automatic privilege to match that. And if he decided to walk and go with this other team for whatever reason, the Giants would then get 2 first-round picks from that other team. So, I mean, that's huge, right? So you're basically kind of locking up, because no team's going to go out there, sign them to big money, and then give up first-round picks. That shit ain't happening, right? So don't believe in that dream. That shit ain't happening. Right?
No way.
Bro, I'll tell you what.
It ain't gonna happen, right? And quickly, the last one, something that's valued as much is the transition tag, which is the top 10 salaries, but then the player can go negotiate with someone else, and if they sign with them, there's no compensation. With all that said, those are your 3 different tags. He got the non-exclusive. The good thing about this is that until free agency actually starts, which is scheduled for March 17th at 4 p.m., it can change, because as of today, on March 9th, we still do not have an actual agreement on what the salary cap has to be for the 2021 season, and that could extend the actual opening time for the free agency. What all this means is said and done is that the Giants can restructure or offer a contract to Leonard Williams in the next week or so, and maybe even beyond that, depending upon what they're going to do, where they can actually reconstruct this whole type of contract and they don't have to eat that $19.35 million hit. So it's not all said and done. It's not like Leonard Williams has to get paid $19 million plus this year. The Giants can still offer him a contract and fit it into that structure. So there's some things going on there that I think a couple of people kind of look like, because their outrageousness was going, God damn it, we signed Leonard Williams 19. Oh my God, we had a cap him. We're going to fuck Gettleman. I can't take this team anymore. So calm down. There's still time to work out an agreement with him where we can fit this into 2021 a little bit better.
Bro, I can't believe that people have been saying that shit. They're flipping out about the franchise tag that we're paying $19 million. The chances of him actually playing on the franchise tag, I feel like, are like 10%, because either they're not going to work out a deal, or they may do the same thing that they did to Josh Norman back in the day, and they just rescind the tag and call it a day. I don't know how likely that is to happen. Listen, we can't speak for the players because we don't know what's in their head, but I know that if I'm trying to do something and try to be great or whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's sales, football, you want to be a fucking cook, whatever the story is. If someone puts you in a position to be the best version of yourself, where it opened the door up for you to sign a $100 million contract, where you wouldn't have had it. If he didn't have the season he had this season under Patrick Graham and Joe Judge, he's not talking about getting $19 million a year or anything like that from any team, Giants included. So in my mind, if I'm him, I'm thinking, why would I not want to stay with the Giants? I could stay with Joe Judge and Patrick Graham for at least another season or two with Patrick Graham, however long it takes for him to get a head coaching job. Hopefully, hopefully a long time. And you can be an elite player for the next 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, in New York. I can't see them not getting a deal done. This is just part of negotiation. People it's like they never even bought a car before. Like, usually you don't go to the dealership and buy it on the first fucking visit. Sometimes you got to fucking stop at a couple of places and have a fucking conversation with a couple of people.
You might want to go to Honda and then like Toyota or something like that, right? And then maybe you go back to Honda. Who knows?
Bro, go to a couple of different Honda places, whatever the story is. Hopefully you get it.
He'll be back. He'll definitely be back. He wants to come back. The Giants want him back. They put it in public. They put it in private. They told him privately. So, and they got to with putting this tag on. They can negotiate with him until July 15th. So we could be talking about this to the fucking summertime. If it's past July 15th, then he has to play on that tag for the year for that amount of money. But I think they'll get the deal done. They got something good going on in Giant Stadium. So be prepared for him to get a deal fairly shortly.
One thing to note also, the Giants have a history of when they're talking about their best players, Eli, Strahan, Odell, they usually wait to the last second to sign them. They generally are very patient. I remember Eli getting signed right before the season. Strahan had that whole situation with the contract. They have a history of doing this. It's just part of the negotiation. Don't flip out. The guy's going to be here, and it's not going to be anywhere near the amount of money that you think he's going to be paid this year. And the Giants will, if they want Dalvin will be here.
Yeah.
And don't forget, this happened back in 2015 with JPP, right? We franchised him. That's when he went out and blew off his fucking finger that fucking July 4th weekend. And then literally had to wait 2016, and we tagged him again in 17, played the 17 season, and then we didn't come to negotiations and reach a deal and sign him again. I don't see that being the case with Leonard Williams. Again, at first I was sort of balking at it myself, but when you really think about it, if this gives us an opportunity to really work out a good contract with them. I mean, listen, let's forget. We were joking about Dak and this deal and all that kind of shit, but Cowboys been talking to Dak about working out a real deal for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like this shit's been ongoing for 2 years before they actually reach something to get Dak in the house, right? So give them a little more time on Leonard Williams. The whole reason why I was saying until March 17th that they get that deadline in is just simply because that's when free agency starts. And you'd like to, in good idea, have an idea of what we're paying this guy so that at the very least we know what else is freed up, because in all honesty, there was a couple of wide receivers that did not get franchise tagged like we thought they might. One in particular, but the 2 that we did and we knew they would is, of course, Chris Godwin. I think he might have been the first one of the big wide receivers to get tagged earlier today. And then Allen Robinson kind of followed maybe about an hour or so after that. But one of the big ones, man, Kenny Galladay does not get tagged by the Detroit Lions. And immediately, all of them, Bleachers, CBS, all the networks popping that shit out there. Miami and the Giants are the front runners for Kenny Galladay. Come on, baby.
I love it,
man. Blue already.
I tell you.
There was rumors last week or something like that. There was a report that an insider was saying there's 90-95% deal done between the Giants and Kenny Galladay. Now, it's the offseason, it's trying to sell papers, and it's the New York market, so that's why we get by far and away the most attention and the most annoying attention possible, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. But hopefully it's fucking true, bro. Hopefully it's fucking true.
I would love for it to be true, but 99% a deal's done before even free agency started. Who's that? That guy is the definition of clickbait. I mean, listen, I'll be rooting for him, man. Hopefully he's fucking right. I would love Kenny Galladay on the Giants, man. That's the number one wide receiver. That man, he might make a name for himself in New York if he fucking comes here, man.
Listen, and that's the thing you got to think of too, right? If you start weighing out the pros and the cons, if you're Kenny Galladay, let's just say, right? And again, we're going to put money aside and cap things and all that kind of talk because, we can't get into that because we don't really know the mechanics behind it, especially with some big contracts still looming with the Giants and, things that got to be worked out. But if you start comparing shit, right? All right, so I can go play in Miami. They haven't won shit in forever, but the weather's nice and they have stay-free taxes, right? Or I can come up to New York. At least we've won in the last fucking century, not like fucking Miami. Right. And, and here, yes, granted, nowadays with social media and everything else going on and media and whatnot, you know, you could still get your name out there playing in fucking Utah, right? But when you still come to New York, it's still fucking New York, man. You know, and we love our players. Like once you become that sort of player, New York fans put you on like this extra step and pedestal where it's like, look, this is the greatest fucking player ever. Like we'll sit there, we'll talk about Eli being elite, he's the greatest and all this shit. Well, he beat Tom Brady twice, right? We love that shit. We get behind our star players. So you'll have that here. And now knowing that you'll come in and here you're working with a young quarterback, a young team, a young head coach, everything kind of brewing where you're going to be centered around being the man as far as the offensive wide receiver position is concerned. You got a great running back. You have some other good weapons on offense. I mean, I think it's more attractive than going to Miami. That's all I'm saying, at least if you had to like choose in that looking at things. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, listen, if he comes here, I tell you, man, as long as he gets past that little injury bug he had last year, because last year was kind of like a wasted year for him. So hopefully he comes here and he's fresh. But I tell you, the 2 years before that in Detroit, he had 16 TDs. He had 1,200 yards, in 2019. He had like over 1,000 in 2018. So this guy's a beast, man. He could straight up ball. He could get separation. He gets open. I tell you, man, we need him. We need him. I don't care. Pay the fucking guy. Pay him and Leonard Williams and Tomlinson and everybody. Get everybody here. Come on. What the fuck are we doing, man?
Nothing. I've had Kenny Galladay on my fantasy team the last couple of seasons on multiple teams, man. Like I've been all over that dude. He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
If we get him in, if he's in blue, woo, I would be ecstatic. You know what? Fucking put the injury bug behind. Train your ass off and let's go, man. Like, he could be that. He could be that Diggs that was in Buffalo to what we would need him in the Giants. I mean, I'm not going to say, all of a sudden, I'm going to be clear on this. I'm not going to say that if we got Kenny Galladay, all of a sudden Daniel Jones becomes Josh Allen. I'm not saying that, right? I'm not putting it out there because I like Josh Allen, okay? And I'm not going to put it out there. Even though I said he'd be better than Kyler Murray, that's because I can't stand that motherfucker. But anyway, with that said, Galladay does have that capability of being that guy that can literally transform this offense into that type of team. And then you could build and put some more blocks together with the draft. So, I mean, it would be huge for us, be tremendous. And I don't know, look, if they have to restructure a couple of guys, Solder, Zeitler, and obviously, Leonard Williams in order to make this happen. We got a week, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully that shit will get worked out.
Honestly, man, to get into the player's head again, if you're Kenny Galladay, I understand, the fans inside Giants Nation maybe they just don't want to admit it to themselves. I don't know what the story is, but they don't allow themselves to look at the potential of what this team could look like. But Saquon is a feared opponent for anybody who's going to go up against them. And you know what? We fans did not vote Evan Ingram into the Pro Bowl this year. It definitely was not us. What it was the players and coaches in the NFL. They respect him enough that he ended up getting enough votes to go to the Pro Bowl. Yes, it was because there was a few guys that should have made it that were hurt, but at the end of the day, he's not far off from the top of the NFC as far as respected tight ends. Last year with the team,
he had a couple bad drops, John. He had a couple bad drops, and it made it exaggerated.
Oh well, that's for sure. You take those 6-7 plays away. And those are just drops that hit the floor. You know what? They stall drives, whatever it is. But the fact that they were so ridiculously crippling with the way the turnovers and all that, whatever. We don't have to rehash the story. The guy still
he felt depressed.
Nightmares already with that shit. Look, what if he called two of them, right? Like, I don't know, a couple of them shits would have been first fucking downs. Maybe we win one more game. We're in the fucking playoffs now.
Bro, so the point I'm trying to make is, if you're Kenny Galladay, whatever team you go to, your expectations is you're wide receiver one. You're looking for a big contract. You're gonna have to play up to it, or at least you should want to play up to it. And where would a better place be to go than a team that your running back is going to demand attention first and foremost before anybody else on the team? And then you have a tight end on offense, and that's not even talking about if we end up drafting Kyle Pitts. Like, God forbid, we can get so lucky to have that end up happening. Right. So you have Evan Ingram. That's going to take attention away from the middle of the field at least, or whoever ends up covering him. Kenny Galladay is in a favorable position where a much larger portion of his attention or he'll be the attention will be focused on him much less than he would on some other teams, just based off the personnel that's here.
I know that's a great point because listen, the whole time in Kenny Galladay's career, he never once had a quality running back like Saquon Barkley. He never did. Let's just put it out there, right? So, like, there was a lot more attention drawn to the receivers because that's all Matthew Stafford did was just fucking throw the ball around, right? So here's an opportunity where he's going to have a lot more, of a chance to get open. And look, say what you want to say about Evan Ingram. The Giants are keeping him around for a reason. Like I said, the only way I ever see this guy getting traded is if we get like a really good offer of some sort of return. Or if we end up getting Kyle Pitts and they're like, look, we re-signed Leo and fucking, he's going to restructure his contract, which was obviously done earlier this week. And, with him being a blocking back, we could bring this kid in and he'll be a little bit more for the passing downs. And as he matures and gets the whole thing down, he's going to be our guy, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, Evan Ingram still got something to play for, and he's not, it's not like this dude is just done. Like, he did just come off a fucking Pro Bowl season. And everybody just wants to harp on the fact that he had those bad passes that resulted in interceptions. So we're writing this motherfucker off like he sucks, right?
Jules, that's what social media does. It makes everything more exaggerated. So everybody sees that and they just they hamper on it. But like the guy's, he's good, man. He gets separation. He's a difference maker. Like he had a bad game because Arizona went with those 4-4 and they were just they had him over the top, over the middle, and he couldn't really do anything because he had no other difference makers on the fucking team. So John, you're right. If they bring back, Barkley gets healthy, they have to key on him. If they got a number one wideout and Kenny Galladay, they're not going to be able to fucking double team him because they're going to be worried about fucking the box with Barkley. They're going to be worried about, Shepard coming out from the other outside, whoever's our slot receiver is going to be. And then, Ingram, I mean, listen, we get a couple different makers. Sky's the limit. We average 17 fucking points a game. If we average like 24 to 27 with that defense, with everybody coming back, man, these fans are going to be in for a shock because we're going to be a fucking good team. We're going to be young, and we're going to be good for a fucking long fucking time. Let me tell you,
bro. Fuck yeah, bro. So, listen, I don't want to stick up for Evan Ingram too much because listen, it's an open wound right now. Maybe if he turns around, has a good season next season, we could forgive and forget and listen, if he ends up having a good season, maybe we even extend him or resign him.
I think the biggest thing with that, real quick, and I don't mean to jump in right there, but I think the biggest problem with him was the fact that everybody thought he was going to be Travis Kelce, and he's not. All right, and we proved that shit. But if he becomes the third option on that team, where you got a guy like Slayton just fucking running down the field, another reason why we don't need Jalen Waddle. But you got him just shooting down the fucking field and pulling that safety deep, and then you got Kenny Galladay and Shepard running over the middle with Ingram, and then you got Barkley coming out of the backfield, bro. Like that is workable, and that's
terrifying.
Missing that shit.
So one more point though about Ingram. Last season, not 2020, in 2019, he didn't have anywhere even close to the same drops problem. Maybe that's because Saquon was healthy. I don't know. I'm not a professional athlete, but I can imagine when you go into these games, you are fucking nervous, and maybe some guys don't have that mental strength to be able to just play ball, and they get in their own heads. They try too hard, close your hands too quick, whatever the fucking story is. And then they're making mistakes like that. You saw it from Saquon with the dancing too much behind when they didn't have a good offensive line. You saw it from Daniel Jones those 4, 5, 6 weeks after Saquon got hurt this year. You saw it for Evan Ingram this year because he was trying to make up and be the playmaker for the team that they needed. You see it in baseball, you see it in basketball, you see it in all sports. Sometimes guys try too hard, they get in their own heads, and it fucks up. And maybe if Evan Ingram could go in a little more of a zen place, maybe the NFL allows him to start smoking pot or whatever it is, and you can just smoke up a doob before he fucking plays on Sundays. Just
get high, Evan.
Bro, I'll fucking roll him up for you, bro. I'll everything.
And listen, Josh, a great point. Like, look, man, maybe he was feeling the pressure because he felt like he should have been the number one guy on offense this year.
Everybody was, Jules.
Yeah,
everybody on offense was feeling the pressure.
Yeah, and I think that's really kind of what it boiled down to.
I mean, 17 points you're averaging. I think the whole offense as a whole, because they hear it. They fucking hear it every week. They can't score points, this and that. Of course, they felt the fucking pressure, especially where the defense was playing. But yeah, I mean, how can you fucking blame them? You lose their best player on offense in week 2. rookie offensive line. Fuck you, Kim Jones. They're fucking young.
We'll get into that
Can
in
we
a minute.
talk about that shit, bro?
Before we jump into that, I just wanted to give one other quick notable thing because there are a couple of other notable wide receivers that didn't get tagged and they will be in free agency. Obviously, Juju Smith, who I think, honestly, if I had to make a prediction, I think I could see him in Miami or on the Jets, staying in the AFC, not being in the North. You have Corey Davis, who we've been talking about as maybe a bargain wide receiver, bringing him in, or Curtis Samuel. You got Will Fuller out there too. Look, I don't know. The guy can never stay healthy. Guy busted with PEDs and all that shit. But you could definitely probably get him on a discount. And another name that's been sort of being tossed around, and it'd be a good revenge if we brought him back to the NFCs, is Nelson Aguilar. I don't know if I'm a big fan, but that's another name that's been kind of getting tossed around out there. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, bring him in or anything, but those are your sort of notable wide receiver names that are still remaining that didn't get tagged today.
Bills Will
Mike,
Fuller.
you want to comment on that Nelson Aguilar? I saw your face when I said that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the names that are out there. Apparently, he had this like reborn season out in fucking Las Vegas, and the Eagles were never utilizing him properly. I don't fucking know, man. People got a lot of shit to talk, but there's nothing going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Will Fuller, man, he kind of reminds me of Golden Tate, doesn't he? Like injury, PEDs. He's quick, but he kind of just shows up once in a while. Right? Like, I don't trust Will Fuller at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, listen, I saved those last two names to the end for a reason.
It's like a joke. Yeah. No, but Juju going to Miami, yeah, that's a good one. I could see him definitely going there.
Like he loves the showboat. And go ahead, go down to South Beach, bro. You look like you fucking hang out down there.
He does.
That looks like a place
I don't want him anywhere near fucking MetLife Stadium unless we're fucking beating them, whoever team he fucking plays for.
The Miami could work out a trade for Odell Beckham, and the both of them could go fucking party on a boat.
Yeah, go on the fucking boats, you jackasses. Yo, what
about
drop
at the end of the season?
Yo, what about in Miami? Like if Miami at 3, like if they don't go chase, like, yo, who do they go after? You know, if they sign like a number 1 wide receiver, like if they get Juju or Galladay, like where are they gonna go at number 3 now?
Seriously, I mean, listen, then that's where that brings up. I mean, look, if that is the case, and they don't end up making a trade, right? They don't do that crazy Tua for Watson, switching picks around, all that craziness. I mean, you got to go with that kid, Penei Sewell, right? I think I said that right. The offensive tackle out from Oregon. You know, look,
protect him.
I mean, listen, he protected the shit out of Herbert, you know, in 2019. So, I mean, that's a change of that's it. You bring in a protection, you bring in a number 1 wide receiver. They're talking about signing some of these free agent running backs. You know, there could definitely be some progress there. That's what I would think they would end up doing.
So maybe Miami and Cincy goes with both those offensive tackles.
Yeah, Rashawn Slater and that kid. I mean, it's an idea.
Man, I was kind of hoping, no joke, I was kind of hoping for one of them to kind of slip to the fucking Giants. But the more I keep hearing, like, I think the Giants might keep fucking Solder around. I think he might be starting right tackle. The way they're talking about him, the way Joe Judge said he wanted to keep him today in the press conference, maybe that he restructures the contract and sticks around on this team. Like, listen, like he won Super Bowls in New England. He's not that bad. He had a bad years last year, of course, because his head wasn't in there. He wasn't working out. He's worried about his son. All the Giants fans that want him out of here that think he's fucking so terrible. He wasn't so terrible for us the year before last. So like maybe he's our, right tackle, and then we kind of solidified that line because Fleming, man, that was a mistake. I mean, listen, I keep him. I keep Nate now. The more like you hear about Judge and get him and talking about him, maybe you don't get cut.
I mean, listen, and we were kind of mentioning that last week. Look, Matt Pert is probably the future, and he could be, right? He showed a lot of potential, but he's not quite there yet to be the starting right tackle. I wouldn't want to throw him into the Wolves like that. And if you can get Solder to restructure his contract and sort of be like a mentor to Matt Pert, what better mentor is a guy that played with the New England Patriots, won Super Bowls, was a starting big-time tackle at one point, and now has moved over to the right side. I mean, it would be fucking perfect. We just got to restructure his contract, and keeping him there for this year would be fantastic. I think he would be way more effective than Cam Fleming was, without a doubt in my fucking mind. They're getting Matt Pert in there to give him some blows so he gets some rest on the sideline. He'll get extra rest. Doesn't even have to be in there every series. Like I said, the biggest thing with that is just restructuring his contract, and I'll be all on it for him. I don't give a fuck. Give Nate another year. It's all good with me.
Yeah, they like him. They like Nate.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind the comeback story either. I think every single person in the Giants fan base, whether you like Edelman, don't like Edelman, whatever the story is, every single person has a soft spot for Nate Solder because of the shit that he went through.
Of course.
And everybody likes a good comeback story. So if you can have a chance where, yeah.
No, John, like imagine like a comeback story with like, Nate, proving people wrong, proving the Giant fan base wrong. Daniel Jones having a great year, proving the fan base wrong. Dave will get him in like with the draft this year and free agent signings, proving the whole fan base wrong, that it does actually take time. And we go out and win double-digit games next year. How gratifying would that fucking be? Like, I might just buy fucking 10 sex dolls and have them all shipped to my house and just go crazy for it.
Orgy.
We'll be giving them out with Giants Brawl t-shirts on them.
Yeah, I was going to say that before.
I'll paint them all fucking blue.
Paint blue t-shirts on them.
I mean,
Like, how gratifying would that be, though? For real.
You left out one big player, man. You left out Saquon. I don't know how you left out your boy, dude.
Everybody, listen. Between all our fucking Giants Brawl fucking feed with Saquon, everybody knows that motherfucker's on top of the list, man. I can't wait till he just starts jumping over the fucking. I want him to jump over the players that he's going against and a couple fans. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck them. Fuck the fake fans.
And then when he gets in the end zone, he does that fucking dunk on the goalpost type shit, like every time. You know?
For real. Bring it, man. God.
Yeah.
I would just love that. I'm sick of hearing all this fucking nonsense. For real. Like, it's crazy. You're not fucking real fans.
Yeah, we gotta get him on the field again. For sure. I think people honestly have forgotten. They saw the injury kind of plague, 2019. Then all of a sudden he goes down in 2020. Everybody's like, I don't even know who the fuck Saquon Barkley is. Did he play at Penn State or some shit? I don't even know. Who is that guy? Is that Kijana Carter?
How do you forget 2,000 total yards? Kijana Carter. I mean, come on, man.
2,020 yards behind an atrocious offensive line.
Atrocious
offensive line. Motherfucker goes off for 2,000 yards. Even after he got hurt in 2019, he had a 300-yard game. Oh, I'm sorry. It was only like 293. Sorry. Not 300. Bro, the kid's a fucking god-level athlete, man. And more than anything else, that vindication and that fucking smug smile that Dave Gettleman's going to have if this actually fucking happens and they're having an end-of-season press conference and the Giants went to the playoffs, ended up maybe even winning a playoff game or two, that end of season press conference, I would literally sit there if I was Dave Gettleman with a full fucking erection, just in the camera on Zoom and just rubbing it in all their fucking faces. And that goes for you too, fucking Kim Jones, you fucking cunt.
Mike, you want to bring us in on the Kim Jones fucking thing here? Because she was tweeting some stupid shit out. Former
tweeting. No, bro. Did you hear the fucking interview with the press conference with Dave Gettleman today?
I didn't hear the whole thing, but I know the highlights of it. I know what she tweeted out. I know the gist behind it. But if you want to give us some more detail, let's go.
Oh my god, Mike, do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
Go ahead, John. Go do it, man. I'll try.
So
I think he's gonna put so many B and F's and C words in there if he said that shit.
Right. Like they're doing a press conference with this guy. Mind you, he's a 70-something-year-old cancer fucking survivor. So be that as it may, whatever. They're doing an off-season press conference. They start talking about the offensive line, and she starts asking them questions about, how could you say it's a young offensive line when you have Solder and you have Zeitler? And she's talking specifically about the 2020 offensive line, right? Solder didn't play in 2020, so I guess she forgot that aspect of it. Secondly, you had Andrew Thomas, who was like 22 years old. You had fucking Matt Pert playing half of the season. You had Shane Lemieux playing most of the season at left guard. You had fucking Nick Gates, who is a second or third year player playing a new position. The only person who was even remotely advanced in their career was Kevin Zeitler. So anyway, they're talking about this.
Since you said Kevin Zeitler, I got to just jump in there for a quick minute. You know how does everybody hear like when we talk about say like a Julio Jones, right? Would you guys not consider Julio Jones still like an elite wide receiver? I don't know. Seriously, would you? Yes or no,
yes.
Mike?
Yes,
absolutely, right? John, would you agree? Elite fucking wide receiver. He's 32.
How old, Jules?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Zeitler just turned fucking 31. All of a sudden, he's an old man. We're talking about Julio Jones being a fucking elite fucking wide elite. Not that he slowed down. No, the guy can still catch 100 fucking passes in 2021 at 32 years old. But Kim Jones is going to call Zeitler, 31 years old, just turned it in January, an old man. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
So-
No, John, hold on, John. If you're calling a 31-year-old man fucking old, I'm in trouble.
Dude, I should be in a nursing home now, right? I mean, what the fuck?
Should I be retiring from my
Yo,
fucking job right now?
You know, like what the fuck? Hey, yo, it's not like Kim Jones is fucking 25 either. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
He's 51.
she's in her early 40s. Nothing wrong with it, of course, but it's like,
He's 51.
yo, you know the dude's gonna go for a fucking few more seasons. The guy can play to at least 35. He's a fucking offensive lineman.
God.
Oh man. Yeah, that was kind of what it was. She was trying to put the pressure on Gettleman and say that he's in his fourth year rebuilding and all this nonsense. And then she wanted to call him out for 2 offensive linemen, where one of them was the best graded offensive lineman we had last year. And all of a sudden, at turning 31 in January, he's over the hill and he's an old man, like he's a running back that's been getting fucking pounded on in 300 carries for the last 10 seasons. It's not the same fucking position, bro. Like, give me a fucking break. Tom Brady's like 70 years old, still throwing touchdowns. Like, give me a break, man.
That's not the problem, bro. The
Insane.
problem was the fucking audacity to ask the question, him give you a civil, reasonable answer saying, hey, we have, you know, a few guys that are 22 years old on his line here. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. He said in the nicest, most applicable way possible. And she fucking snaps and yells at this guy on a fucking public conference call that the entire fucking sports world is listening or could be listening to.
She really got like out of character like that on?
Yells.
That's what I missed.
Well, how could you say that, Dave? Yeah, how could you say that if you have Salt like snaps at him and calls him a liar outright? On basically calls not using the word liar, but basically insinuates you're calling him a liar without calling him a liar on a fucking conference call. Like, you guys aren't in a fucking break room at MetLife Stadium having a conversation. Like, bro. What are you salty about? What is you're a reporter. You're supposed to be professional. We're the fans. We can go off. We can have emotions on this on whatever we want, good or bad or whatever the story is. But you're a reporter. You're supposed to have some type of professionalism, and you go and you fucking snap like a fucking 13-year-old was on a fucking second period.
Let's get Kim Jones on Giants Brawl and let her get salty with Mike like that and see what the fuck happens.
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's like she snapped at him and fucking calls him a liar. I was like, I fucking had to rewind it. I was like, did this girl just do that? Like, are you really that mad that Gettleman sent Odell away from fucking MetLife into Cleveland where you don't go anymore? You can't fucking suck his dick whenever you want. That's what you're fucking mad about, you fucking dumb cunt. I fucking
There it was to see when it was dropped. I knew it was coming from someone, one of you two.
The people has arrived.
I was waiting for it the whole time.
Yo, for people that don't, just listen to the Depot going after that dude like that podcast we talked about a couple weeks ago that he was on, man. It was just like that, man. John brings it out sometimes, man. You just don't know.
Bro, that's Sicilian blood, bro. It rests at 97.6 or whatever it says when I walk into the fucking gym. I thought it was 98.6. Apparently it's 97 point whatever. So you fucking just you fucking get me going, bro. And you just get mad. Like I don't know, man.
Go from 0 to 60 pretty quick there, John.
People are idiots.
Bro, you go back to that dark side again. We're bringing up the dark side of 2021.
0 to 60 and 3.7. Bro, it's just it fucking made me so mad because she's sitting there trying to bait him to write this fucking smear piece on him because that's what she's fucking good for. Like, it just bothered me. And then all these fucking fake ass Giants fans, oh, good for you. You fucking stuck up. Like, get the fuck out of here, all you guys, all of you.
Well, wasn't it like officially National Women's Day yesterday or something like that? So, you know, maybe she just didn't get an opportunity to speak up and represent that day. So she figured, fuck it, I'm gonna go take advantage of this shit on Dave Gettleman. I'm gonna bring out the women in me. Let's go.
Yeah,
bring it up to a stupid fucking point. It's like, man, you could have saved that shit.
Oh God.
That fucking bothered me so much.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I get it, you don't like it, but be a fucking professional. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it irked me. It definitely irked me hearing that fucking question. But only in New York, man. That's what these fucking media people do, man. They try to get under like these people's skin and try to make them look fucking good and look smarter than what actually GM is. That's exactly what it is. So fuck her, man. Fuck these people. And fuck Dan Graziano, that old Giants beat reporter that works for ESPN now. Fuck him too, man. He blocked me on Twitter, that piece of shit, because I went after with his fucking bullshit. Fuck you, Dan.
What did he do? He blocked you?
Oh, years ago, because he used to be a Giant hater. He used to go after everything terrible what they're doing, even though he's right, because he used to tell me about Jerry Reese and spending $200 million to save his fucking contract. I'm like, fuck you. We're going to the Super Bowl now, you asshole. I mean, all right, Dan, you were right about that one, man. Fuck you though, fucking asshole.
Them being right or wrong is one thing. The spinning narrative to try to fucking slander people just because I'm a New York reporter, this is what I have to do. Like,
Yeah.
bro, just go fuck yourself. Like, that's what you gotta make a living doing. Slander fucking pieces to try to run people out of their fucking jobs.
We might as well have Maury Povich just fucking come on and fucking ask the tough questions and shit. You know?
You are not the father.
Dave Gettleman, you are not the father of this young offensive line. These fucking people. Fucking crazy.
Listen, I love that Maury Povich. That shit was great, dude. I actually went on that show one time, like in the audience. It was great watching that shit.
Oh, I thought you went on as a person. Like, Jules, you are not the father.
I'm like, yes! I'll be fuck that. I'll be running around the whole fucking studio, like, yeah!
Right. High-fiving everybody and shit.
Give me the fucking camera.
Yo, that's what we should do. We should make some shit up where we have to go on one of these fucking talk shows and then just promote the Giants brawl on it. Like World War
Giants brawl,
shit, you know?
You want to laugh, bro? Fucking one of my boys, he did that. Him and his friend came up with a fucking fake story. They were roommates. Ended up getting on fucking some judge.
Yeah,
Hero.
no. Like, what do you mean? Oh, you mean so like the 90% that are usually fake? You're talking about that? Oh, okay.
What do you do?
They were something about fucking. They were both personal trainers, and one of them, my friend, was training clients. They probably were. That's probably why they stemmed the whole thing. But no, they were personal trainers, and he was fucking training people in the house. And there was a disagreement about money with the rent or whatever the case is because they were using the place as a business or whatever it was. And the fucking other kid's like, yeah, he's like, I'm trying to eat breakfast. And he's got these big overweight women working out right next to me. It was hysterical. Right on fucking television. They ended up giving him the fucking money for both ends of the claim and flew him out there to Chicago for a few days. It was just hysterical.
How do you get on these fucking shows, man? You got to be fucking some fucking winner.
Gotta be a little crazy, like a little different kind of crazy, right? Not like this is a crazy outgoing type. Like you gotta be a little special in certain ways where you're like, fuck it, I don't care if I'm like embarrassed and I talk about having like a 14 toe or some stupid shit. Like, I don't give a fuck it. I'm on
like,
TV.
You're like crazy, but you're on like the spectrum of like craziness. Like, you know what
you're
I mean?
like a step away from a mental asylum.
Right. Yeah. On the R word.
And wrong. You're in that gray area. You step the wrong way. You might get locked up for a couple of years.
And then you end up walking on TV and shit. Crazy.
Well, listen.
Can we talk about that?
Other sponsors. What was that, John?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I wanted to get back to the vindication for Dave Gettleman.
Okay.
Just like what it could be, but we got sponsors to get to, so let's do that.
Well, yeah, I wanted to get into DraftKings, right? And Mike, you know, we're gonna drop the whole thing that DraftKings is offering now because I went on that and I was fucking around like, yo, there's some interesting futures that I want to get into in a moment.
Yeah. Besides, like,
let's talk about DraftKings real quick.
Yeah. Before we get into the futures, like, listen, it's March Madness time. We're having fucking basketball finally in March Madness. We didn't have it last year, but we're having it this year. So if you go to DraftKings.com/brawlmarch. Dude, you could fucking actually like win like your share of like $100,000. They're putting $100,000 into this like tournament. So pick out your fucking tournament, you know, get the account. I mean, you can't go wrong, man. You know, it ends March 14th because I think like the games start like the day after, March 15th.
Yep.
So like, you know, get in on DraftKings, you know, sign up, you know, get in, use that code BRAWL, you know, March, and then get in there, man. Like it's March Madness time, like, you know, and besides, like we got other bets you could do outside of New York. Like I always say, if you want to fucking gamble and do these prop bets, I think we got some prop bets, right, Jules?
Yeah, man. Listen, I was on there and I was fucking around, right? I had to go check it out because, you know, we do a lot of shit talking as far as, you know, who the Giants should pick, who's going to get picked on what team. Listen, this kind of ends that, all right? Because there's some interesting ones. And some of the ones I highlighted was one of the first ones they have. And this one I'm going to just kind of start with because this has kind of been notable of what, you know, most of us were saying anyhow. They obviously have Chase at being the first wide receiver drafted, right? So the whole idea in this bet is which wide receiver be drafted. He's at minus 167. And for you non-betting people, what that means is that you would have to risk $167 in order to win 100, right? Then number two is my man Smith, right? Devonta Smith, right? He's plus 140. So again, if you bet 100, you win 140. Waddle's plus 700. And then another guy who they have is the fourth receiver that should be off the board is Rashad Bateman, who's been climbing up charts left and right. Yeah, but again, he would have to be the first wide receiver taken, which is very unlikely. He's plus 2,000. Guys, I don't know if I see any much of a bet there. I mean, maybe I throw a little small one on Smith just because I've been talking a lot of shit. And again, it will depend on what happens with free agency because that could change very dramatically. But, at least I'm getting a little plus money on Smith, and I could see him being the first one off the board.
Now, like Jules, is Pitts labeled as a tight end, or is he labeled as a wide receiver?
He's
labeled as
a tight end currently, right? So that doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah,
so because that could kind of be like a sleeper where I kind of would want to throw money in to be drafted ahead of Chase. But, Chase is probably the guy. I know they have him going to Miami, but it really all depends on what free agency, happens, in free agency, what free agencies, what free agents sign. It could determine the outcome. It could change the whole dynamic of the draft. That's what I'm kind of excited to see, who goes where. If Miami gets one of these top wideouts, do they really go Chase again, or do they go maybe an offensive lineman like you were talking about? So I don't know, man. I would wait to put those bets in after the free agency period ends.
I mean, granted, I think the odds may change a little bit.
That's true. That's what happens.
It is looking at. Listen, one of the other ones that kind of stood out to me a little bit more. This one. So now we're gonna get into ones that kind of stand out a little bit more. I'll touch on the running backs real quick, just because that one's kind of a little boring as well. But currently, right now, Travis Etienne. I always mispronounce that last name. The dude out of Clemson, Travis Etienne, something like that. I think that's how you say it, right? He's actually the favorite. He should be the first running back drafted. That's what DraftKings is currently saying. He's at minus 121, where Najee Harris is basically 2-1, right? So if you bet 100, you win 200. And that's with Najee Harris out of Alabama. So that's interesting because, a lot of people think Najee Harris could be the first running back taken in the draft. So there you got a guy at plus 100 currently, where you can literally double your money, put down 25, you win 50, right?
That
versus where it is. That's an interesting one because that could go either way. I know they're saying that the kid from Clemson's a little bit more of a NFL kind of all-around type back because he catches the ball a little bit more, and he has the same kind of running ability, but he's not as big. Whereas Harris is more of that sort of Derrick Henry type of running back coming out of Alabama again. So that's interesting. That's one to kind of keep an eye on. I don't think that's going to change that much either with free agency. I think that would be one thing that you could put a bet on. The fun ones start where the second overall pick comes into play. Right. And it's just the second overall pick. And the reason why I stress that is because if the Giants somehow traded out of it, it's whoever gets drafted with that second overall pick. And real quick, before I get into it, who would you guys think is the actual favorite currently on DraftKings as of today, March 9th, to be that number 2 pick?
Zach Wilson.
Whoa! Wow!
Is it?
Oh, yeah, Zach Wilson.
It is, right? Wow!
Yeah, you hit that shit on the nose. I'm like, damn.
Jets going Zach Wilson,
and he's kind of big too. He's minus 305.
Vegas knows. Vegas knows.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, wait, what? I was like, holy shit, that's kind of impressive.
I know what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. Sam Darnold is gonna get traded to Washington. I got a feeling he's going to go to the Redskins, man. I'm booking my words right now. And he's going to be terrible for them. They're going to be awful.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
No.
That'd be fantastic.
Sweep the NFC East next year.
Oh, dude, no doubt. There's something brewing in Washington. But Jets and Washington, they always make trades with each other, if you ever notice. If you look over the years, they always have that kind of
like. Lotto kind of was traded, but he definitely ended up with them recently.
It's always chemistry between those fucking two teams. So I can see Sam Darnold going there, man.
Yeah, because the Jets want to secretly undermine the Giants, so they're like, "Fuck it, we're going to trade in your division."
Oh God, don't start that, man. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
But then it gets kind of interesting from there, right? Because Fields, which I understand his stock went down, but let's be real here. About 2 months ago, that guy was the number 2 overall pick on everybody's consensus list, right? No doubt about it. He's plus 500. It jumps that much, dude. It literally went from Zach Wilson being minus 305 to Fields being plus 500. Like, dude, that's huge. That's a huge jump, man. I don't know what the fuck they know in Vegas that we don't know.
What about the other ones? What about the other quarterbacks?
So the next one, as far as a quarterback's concerned, is Lance, and he's plus 1,200 because the offensive lineman that we talked about is actually the third favorite. He's at plus 1,000. And then it's actually Chase, who's plus 1,600.
Dude, I think Trey Lance might end up being one of the best ones. And besides like Trevor Lawrence, I think it's Trey Lance. That dude, he's got size. He's got like Big Ben size. He's got a strong arm. Like and he played for a good college, and he played for like a college that like I was reading about this, like a coach that makes you actually like understand the defense, like what they're setting, what their plays are running. He makes them study it. So like he kind of got like that like that offensive. I mean, the NFL readiness in him to read plays and read defenses. So you got to watch out for him, man. He might be a sneaky pick for whoever's lucky enough to get him.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I see him going all over the place. There's things that see him going even ahead of Fields, right? There's some of these fucking mock drafts that they got him going that high. Then there's other ones seeing him getting snatched at Carolina. Then there's ones that he falls to New England. I mean, that shit, he's all over the board. But that is a name to keep an eye on for sure.
If he goes to New England, man, watch out. Telling
right?
you.
Yeah, I know. Tom Brady 2.0.
Right. It could be. It could fucking be.
You know what's crazy is, speaking of quarterbacks, the next one that kind of like stood out to me a little bit was, and this is just a straight under over, but here's an interesting one. In the first round, obviously the over is currently favored. It's minus 590, but that 4.5 quarterbacks would be drafted in the first round. That means 5 quarterbacks have to fucking be drafted in the first round in order for that bet to hit. That's a lot. That means they're saying Mac Jones is going to be fucking drafted in that first round, which is kind of crazy, dude. I mean, listen, I don't know if the quarterback is that deep, bro. With 5 going the first round?
No, Jules, like, remember I said last week, next year, there's no quarterbacks coming out.
Right.
So the first round this year, it might be like going like hot fucking potatoes, man. Yeah, you might have to.
The under is plus 400. It's that much of a swing.
Wow.
It's that fucking dramatic. Like, I always want to just put shit on the plus 400 just for shits and giggles. We're like, all right, I hope the 5th quarterback's not drafted.
Right, and we always lose that bet.
Fuck it, I'll just put some money on that shit. $25 was me 100. Like, cool, whatever.
That's why we lose those fucking bets.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, come on, man.
Because we always do the ones just for fucking shits and giggles, man.
We have to start listening to Vegas, man. That's happening. There's no
seriously. So apparently Zach Wilson's going number 2. All right, you guys heard it here first. Right? And this isn't Jules or Mike or John fucking predicting this shit. This is just what we're reading off of the bets today. All right, and the fact that you called out Zach Wilson makes it even crazier. All right. But then, of course, it wouldn't be complete if I didn't check out the futures with the Giants in the NFL. And when I get to the division, shit changed, and it got me a little pissed. But going into it as of today, the Giants are a 66 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, right? You bet 100, you'll win 6,600, right? You bet anything more than that, you're going to just double, triple, whatever, so forth. So they're 66 to 1 today to win the Super Bowl. What's crazy is, though, just to get to the Super Bowl and win the NFC, it drops a lot more than you think, right? Me personally, I don't know about you guys. I would think it would be like maybe 50 to 1, right? 45 to 1, right? I mean, does that make sense? I don't know. Instead,
nope.
30 to 1. John's like, yo, we're going, baby. That's it. To get to the Super Bowl, it's 30 to 1 for the Giants just to win the NFC. Here we come. I'm gonna let that sit for a second.
I got to start, betting the Giants fucking every year just to win the Super Bowl. Because I remember when the Giants upset Tom Brady when New England was undefeated. Before the season started, I think the Giants were like 2,500 to 1. So every $100 you bet, you win $2,500. And I remember at the time I was unemployed, so I didn't bet at the time. Otherwise, I would have, and I would have made a killing. But man, it's just shit like that. In the NFL, you just don't know, especially you go from week to week and you don't know what happens every Sunday. That's why it's hard to bet, because there's always upsets, and to get to the playoffs, you never know. If you get to the playoffs, anything could fucking happen. Maybe the Giants could win that $6,600. So bet that DraftKings, man. Bet the Big Blue. Bet the Giants win some fucking money. You heard it here first.
And this last thing right here is just going to kind of make me segment into what we've been talking about for the last few weeks, how we need to show a little more blue pride and get out there and fucking show how much we fucking support the Giants and all this shit. Because again, right now, not only is it that we get, Philly Brawl's getting more fucking downloads than we currently are. We're going to get to that in a moment, of course. But we got disrespected in DraftKings for who's going to win the division. Remember I said it was pretty even kind of last week? I guess with the fucking Dak sign and the Wentz trade, all this bullshit going on. Technically, right now, as of today, the Cowboys are the favorite to win the division at plus 100. Okay. Then it gets more annoying, okay? Because Washington is plus 350 at number 2 to win the division. And then ready for the fucking kicker here? As of fucking today, March 9th, fucking Eagles are plus 400 to win the division. And the Giants come in last, which means DraftKings has us picked to finish dead last in our division. And we're plus 450. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, obviously, DraftKings is no longer a sponsor for this. Fuck
That
that.
doesn't. What that is Vegas understanding the masses and playing them like a fucking piano. Because if you just for a second use your fucking brain, and I know there's Giants haters out there that think that they're Giants fans. I get it.
Yeah, no.
You're thinking the Giants are definitely we don't have a quarterback, we don't have an offensive line, our defense sucks, blah 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 blah. Dave Gettleman, as long as he hears we're gonna stuff. I hear you, no problem. The reality of the situation, actually, if you guys want to come back to us, is that the Giants were 4-2 in this division, won games handily at times, and should have, if not for one catch from Evan Ingram, if not for that, we would be 5-1, which is dominating the NFC East. Also, if one of the two, only one of those two plays against the Cowboys in that first game, where they picked up they threw two separate flags that costed the Giants a touchdown on the fake punt or fake field goal, whatever the story was. Two different plays that we scored a touchdown that took them off the board. If not for those flags, the Giants run away with that game.
6-0.
Right? 6-0 in the division. 6-0 in the division, and we would have went to the playoffs. And there's no excuse whatsoever for that to be logical at all. The only thing logical that lines up is they're fucking chasing the dollars, and they know that the way society is, they spend the last few weeks bashing the Giants. Okay, let's fucking let them put whatever money they need to on the fucking whoever we need to line our pockets. At the end of the day, there is not a football fan that's honest that can admit that the Giants are the 4th best team in the NFC East. That is ridiculous.
Let's bet it. Let's put all our money together. Let's bet $1 million on the Giants, and let's just fucking bankrupt DraftKings and just make it our own. We're gonna fucking take over that fucking company. Okay, how dare you fucking put
I'll
the
tell you,
Giants?
there's definitely a couple of fun bets. There's a couple of interesting bets, but like in all honesty, you're gonna really sit there and tell me that just because Dak Prescott signed the contract, because that's all he did, he put his fucking name on a piece of paper. All of a sudden, the Cowboys are that much a clear favorite to win the division again. They didn't do shit. They didn't improve the O-line. They haven't even drafted anybody yet. And Dak hasn't even thrown a fucking football in like 6 months. And all of a sudden, they are your undisputed NFC East champs. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Has he
Fuck off, you
yet?
Washington, right? Because now you guys are all chirping. You're a quarterback away. I hope Mike is right. You do get fucking Sam Darnold.
What coaching staff is better than us in that fucking division? Besides a close one, and because I like Ron Rivera in Washington, he's a good coach. Let's just be real about it. Like, I mean, McCarthy. I mean, kidding. Like, fucking, who the fuck is this guy? Fucking Eagles. He can't even fucking talk on a press conference. I talk better on a podcast than this guy talks on a fucking press conference, and I fucking stutter my words all the fucking goddamn time. So fuck them, man. We're gonna fucking kill this fucking division, man. We're gonna crush it. Let's go 6-0 next year. Just fucking shut everybody the hell up.
I mean, look, 4.5 to 1. You got to consider that as a bet there for the Giants to win the division. Because if anybody really thinks that the NFC East is just sewed up by one team, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? Because like I said, you got Washington thinking that they fucking are a quarterback away from not only just winning the division, but going to the Super Bowl and probably winning, okay? That's how good they fucking already fucking toting themselves in the hat and fucking, oh, yeah, we're great. Yeah, oh. And now the Cowboys go outside Dak Prescott and did nothing else. We don't even know if Zeke is going to be as good as he was last year, 2 years ago, rather. And all of a sudden, that's it. We're fucking lining this shit up. We got the division, guns blazing. And then the fucking Eagles? What the fuck did the Eagles do that they all of a sudden jumped us on them? Get them, please. Like, bro, like, yo, NYG slap parade needs to come out and start slapping shit around. We're gonna have to get fucking pinatas of the fucking Eagles, the fucking Skins, or the fucking and the Cowboys, and just start breaking the fucking things up, bro. Because get the fuck out of here with that shit, all right? Like, please, bro. Like, it's just too much for me to digest. When I looked at it, I was just sitting there, I'm like, are you fucking serious, bro? Like, really? All of a sudden, we jumped to the fucking least likely team to win the division, and we have done nothing wrong. You know, I'm like, yo, does DraftKings know that we got fucking Leonard Williams back, bitch?
So here's a question. This is just going to be. I'm gonna through time. I'm gonna build my goldfish theory, and by the end of this show, one day I'm gonna have an ironclad research paper written, and I'm gonna bring to Harvard or fucking Yale, and they're gonna publish it, and they're gonna say, you know what?
You're gonna call it the goldfish theory? You gotta patent that shit now.
Bro, listen to me. Goldfish theory. Dallas was scoring a ridiculous amount of points, but they had, for the majority of the season, the worst defense in the league and among one of the worst defenses of all time. And now all of a sudden, because they got a guy back that they don't even know can walk yet, they're the fucking winner. They're going to be, dude.
This disclaimer.
Because Giants fans suck is why the media gets away with this shit, because they write it and then people click it because they think that it's going to be fucking, oh, this is right. Fuck Dave Gettleman. If we didn't fucking act like that, they wouldn't be able to write that shit because it didn't sell papers. But because there's fucking people like you motherfuckers listening that they hate fucking Dave Gettleman, right? Well, I hope all of you guys like Dave Gettleman because I think we made a case to at least tolerate him for however long he's here. But for anybody else that hates him, you're the fucking reason why they do this shit.
Real quick though, it's not even like it's the whole like media when not. You guys saw the tweet last night from Cowboys, bro. They were like, "Well, I guess the best free agent's off the market now." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude! Good luck with that one-legged motherfucker."
Fuck that, man. They can suck my fucking dick. Disclaimer: plenty of goldfish died in the making of John's research. Fucking David. Fuck the Cowboys fucking brawl, man. They come out with this fucking bullshit. The best free agent is Leonard Williams, man. You can't fucking hands down. He's the fucking best.
We got him locked up now. I'm like, I don't even know how to comment on that shit. I was like sending memes of just dumb shit, being like, what?
Fuck, he sucks.
Bro, like, look, listen, I get it. Yo, Dak had put together, a decent 2019 season. It was pretty impressive. And then he started off like a gangbanger in 2020. Yeah. Well, when you're down 45 points every game, what do you think the quarterback's got to do? He's going to fucking throw the ball and get you back in the game. And you have all those fucking receivers and arguably one of the better running backs in the NFL. Like, he should be putting up fucking numbers.
Right. I mean, talk about weapons, right? Fucking Jules, talk about fucking weapons. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna lead us into the draft, man. I really can't wait. Like, I love the fact that the Brawl Network, and this is gonna be just a quick, shout out here for all of us here, that they want to kind of do this sort of mock live draft where, like, all of us from Giants Brawl will be like the representatives, and we'll all pick accordingly and go through the first round and see whatever he picks. Bro, I'm not gonna stop talking shit. Like, every time, like, they're gonna have to fucking mute me during that thing, bro. I'm gonna be talking shit throughout every pick. Like, even when like fucking Jaguars going, oh, you took Trevor Lawrence. Whoa, I didn't see that one coming.
Loser, like a fucking Ace Ventura. Loser.
Bro, when we get to pick 6 and then pick 10, man, they're gonna fucking put me on mute. They're gonna probably like try to cut off our connection.
Yeah. There's no doubt. If you have a few fucking beers in you, yeah, you definitely get.
Oh, it's like on a Friday or a Saturday, and I started drinking already.
Forget about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be censored, muted, barred, suspended.
Yeah. You're gonna be the first one to get suspended from fucking the Brawl Network.
You guys be tuning in, like, what happened to Jules? Like, he'll be back in May.
Yeah, he's got a 3-monther,
But listen, we sit here joking, but remember, we've been saying this for weeks, man. Tell people, put down this. You listen to the episode tonight, text that shit out, message it, email, tell somebody, show it to somebody at work, get more downloads, get more people to subscribe for us, because we want to blow all of the fucking NFC East out of the fucking thing. All right. And you know what? Just because DraftKings had us fourth, I'm going to say we're in fourth right now. I don't even know if that's true. I just know the Eagles are in first, but fuck it. Actually, I think we might be ahead of the Cowboys, but whatever.
I like being the underdogs. Fuck them.
Yeah. We want to come up out of nowhere. Look, real quick props out to Facebook. We just approached 2,000 followers on the Facebook page. So thank you for fucking following us there. That's going to continue to grow every single week, every single day. That's been fantastic. Twitter went up a little bit. I know Insta went up a little bit. We appreciate everything. We just want to make sure that we sent that out to you guys. We love it. We appreciate the support and the following, man. Thank you so much. You know, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, just to kind of give you something to listen to on your way to work, coming home, or when you're mowing the lawn or whatever the fuck it is. And we love talking shit about the other networks. You know, that's what we do here. But, you know, I wanted to make sure we got that out to you. You know, Mike, any last words here tonight?
No, man, just like, you know, come at me, man. Hit me my DMs if you're interested in a sex doll. Like, I'd love to get that out of you. Please. Take it. Take it off
John,
my
you
hands.
got any sex dolls you want to hand out?
No, sir. No, sir. I do want to say, though, we're going to try to put this together. Hopefully we can get one going this week, but we're going to try to do some debate shows. I don't know. Debate sounds a little more civil than it'll probably be. But look out for that.
Some real brawl, some live brawl.
Exactly.
Live brawls.
Live brawls, baby.
We're
That's
gonna
it.
put the name of the show here. We're gonna have some live brawls. So keep a lookout for those episodes. Hopefully we can have one for you this weekend. If not, very, very soon coming.
Yeah, because you know what, we got into the point where with social media and Twitter and all that shit, people like to hide behind their tweets. We're saying, look, you know what? In addition to the show that we'll do, you know, every Tuesday night and it comes out on Wednesday morning, we're going to do a segment where we'll do like a brawl real quick, maybe a 15, 20-minute conversation, if you would, with someone else that loves talking shit, loves putting down the Giants, loves putting down the brawl, putting down whatever, and let them go up against us, man. And we'll start holding tallies down too. We'll see who gets the win, who gets that loss every once in a while too. Because I'm sure there's some good people out there that might be able to beat one of us in a brawl fucking talk. But yeah.
I'll just fucking mute them. I'll fucking mute them, Jules. I have the control over here, man. I swear.
Hit that mute button, like, fuck you.
I'm like, yo, they're fucking winning, man. I gotta fucking mute this shit.
This is my way out. I'm gonna mute your ass. That's right. I won, bitch.
Yo, I won, man. I won. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, if you want to if you feel like you got the fucking balls to come on and fucking debate all three of us, man, fucking come on, man. Get your point of view across.
And if you're nervous about the 3-on-1, don't worry about it. We'll go 1-on-1 with any of the motherfuckers anytime, all right? Because I'm tired of hearing this shit. I hear you guys going through this all the time with these guys. I get into it. I get crazy with these guys, and then that's the end of it. We fucking settle that shit in the Twitter world or whatever the fuck that is. Yo, I'm down, bro. You want to do a live show? Motherfuckers want to come on and debate? Bring it. I know. I'll tell you this much. You guys might be hitting up the Twitter world. I'm going to get it sold that the whole Brawl Network is going to be pretty much coming at me, at least the NFC East. Like, I already know it, dude. Like, bro, I hit something, I just make a comment, they're already jumping on my shit. Especially, like, yo, they got their fucking site set on me. I'm like, cool, let's go. That's why we call it the Brawl Network, motherfuckers.
When Jules first started on the fucking show, there was people asking me, like, who's this Jules guy? Like, oh, man, you better fucking watch out, man. Like, this guy's fucking nuts.
I'm relentless, especially if you start fucking with me like on a Friday night or Saturday and shit when I'm drinking and the shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting around this fucking COVID and this dude's talking shit. Like,
you won't win. You fucking won't win. I'm telling you right now.
Yo, you better be in for a 6 hour. This shit ain't no sprint. This shit's a marathon, all right?
All right. I got a text message between me and Jules' mutual friends that just go on and on and on for fucking weeks to years, man. It's just way too much. It just does not end. So I'm telling you, you will fucking not win. But if you feel like you can win, man, fucking hop on the show, man. Try to debate Jules. Try to debate John, man. Try to debate me. I don't give a shit. Come on.
And yo, and like we said, you could definitely hit us up. Well, you know, you can hit us on Twitter at Giant, or you can hit us up individually. Mike Trainer at Mike Trainer MFT, John Depot at NYG Slap Parade, Jules at Jules NYC1. Don't forget, we are also on Instagram. We are on Facebook. That following page is great. It's getting a lot of traction. There's a couple of things that show up on there. We're posting articles every week. We're posting polls. That shit's a lot of interacting too. It's a big community. And also don't forget too, we are putting this together. You know, as this COVID restrictions are lifting, we are 100% going to probably do some sort of live draft, probably from a bar. So please come down, hang out with us. We'll have some giveaways. We'll have a couple of beers together. We'll look at this shit. We'll shout into the microphone if you want to come through, especially when the Giants are getting ready to pick. That shit should be fun. Again, that's really just, you know, relying on the COVID restrictions. So within the next couple of weeks, we'll know a little bit more about that and how we're going to go about it, where we'll have it, you know, and see what we could do as far as, you know, getting more people and how many people be actually allowed to even come down and see us. But that's definitely not something on the docket there. I know these people from Brawl want to do that, you know, that our own live Brawl mock draft. That might be interesting. So there's definitely more news to come on that. But again, follow us on that. Listen to us every week. All right. We are getting ready to wrap this up. We're out. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.